Okay, so let's see this particular question. So what we need to do here is to rearrange the four sentences into parajumble sequence. So let's understand all the sentences in detail. So the first sentence is talking about passion and conviction are compatible with seeking common ground with those who come to politics from other backgrounds or perspectives. Indeed, they often require it, right? So basically, what this sentence is actually talking about is kind of that passion and conviction are compatible with seeking common ground with those who come to politics from other backgrounds or perspectives. Indeed, they often require it, right? So this sentence kind of looks like an introductory sentence, right? Independent sentence है, general sentence लगता है, passion and conviction की बात कर रहा है, okay? So they say, and the sentence says that they both are compatible, right? Compatible means that they both can coexist, right, with seeking some sort of a common ground, right? It also requires a willingness to reason together as opposed to viewing our religious convictions as debate stoppers, right? Now, it gets into another sentence which says that there is some need of, you can say it requires. So, there is some requirement or there is some need to engage in, you can say, reason together, okay? Willingness to reason together rather than you can say allowing or opposing to viewing our religious convictions as debate stoppers, okay? So basically they say that the kind of they say that there is a need to engage in reason dialogues rather than allowing religious convictions to end debates or discussions, okay? So let's keep it on a hold, okay? It also requires, so maybe we need to look for what is that it here. The happy experience of the civil rights movements and many movements since is that one can bring one's deepest conviction to political advocacy and at the same time ally with people whose theological and philosophical perspectives differ greatly and sometimes who do not have conventional religious roots at all, right? Now, this sentence is kind of, we can say there are a lot of echo words here. So, the happy experience of the civil rights movements and many movements since is that one can bring one's deepest conviction to political advocacy. Okay, so common grounds for with those who come to politics. Okay, and and at the same time elevate people whose theological and philosophical perspectives differ greatly and sometimes do not have conventional religious roots at all, right? So what is this sentence is kind of saying is that you can say that of this I mean it kind of you can say that the civil rights movements, okay, and it says that many movements it brings the deepest conviction of political advocacy to the theological and perspective philosophical perspective. Now, this will often involve going beyond a specifically religious frame of reference, invoking the commonly held values and shared aspirations of the wider community, right? Now, this is kind of, you can see that this will often involve, so what will involve, okay, beyond a specifically religious frame of reference, invoking the commonly held values and shared aspirations of the wider community. So kind of we can say that this suggests that how alliances are formed, okay, that is by going beyond a strictly religious framework, okay. Now we can see that out of when we have read all the sentences and we have gone through all the sentences, we can be pretty sure that the first is an opening sentence, right? Now first is an opening sentence because it kind of lays down the foundation of an argument that passion and conviction, you can say that they kind of coexist, okay? So coexist, right? And they say passion and conviction are compatible with seeking common ground. So passion and conviction, they can coexist by seeking a common ground with those who come to politics from other backgrounds or perspectives. Indeed, they often require it, okay? And after that we can see that the third will be placed, right? Now because it gives a kind of a follow-up to the introduction, okay, it provides kind of a concrete example from history, okay, which says that the happy existence of civil rights movement and many movements is that one can bring one's deepest conviction. So we can see politics from other backgrounds perspective. This is giving an example to the idea that is highlighted in three, right? So the happy experience of the civil rights movements and many movements since is that one can bring one's deepest convictions to political advocacy and at the same time ally with people whose theological and philosophical perspectives differ greatly and sometimes do not have conventional religious roots at all. Okay. After that, this will often involve going beyond a specifically religious frame of reference. Okay. Now, why? Because it says that why fourth will going to come is that because the sentence suggests that how one can go beyond a strictly religious framework. So they say that for sometimes you do not have conventional religious roots at all, right? So conventional religious roots nahi hai, so something that goes beyond a specifically religious framework reference, invoking the commonly held values and shared aspirations of the wider community. Okay, it also requires a willingness to reason together. So हमें क्या चाहिए? Okay, invoking the commonly held values and shared aspirations of the wider community, and it also requires a willingness to reason together. So इसके अलावा क्या चाहिए? That is a willingness to reason together. So this provides a logical conclusion, emphasizing that there is also a need to engage in reason dialogue rather than allowing religious convictions to end the discussions or debate. Okay? So that's the case. 1342 becomes the sequence. I hope you got it.